Hello there. We'll go over the main goals of Kubernetes services and the various methods for exposing them. Let's list some of the critical features provided by Kubernetes services. First, Kubernetes services provides an abstraction to define a logical set of pods, which in turn run containers, and a policy to access them. Second, Kubernetes services are defined using YAML, however, we do have an option to use JSON as well. Third, Kubernetes services are assigned IP address, which is used by service proxies. Fourth, we can also map an incoming port to any target port by configuring the same in the environment. Finally, Kubernetes services support TCP, UDP, as well as SCDP protocols. Now, we will briefly explore the different types of Kubernetes services. First, we have the cluster IP, which is the default type that exposes the service on a cluster internal IP. Second, we have node port, which exposes the service on each node's IP at a static port configured. Third, we have load balancer, which exposes the service externally using the load balancer of your cloud service provider. Finally, we have external name, which helps map the service to the content of the external name field. We need to know that it does this by returning a value for the CNAME record configured in DNS. Now explore how we can create Kubernetes service with YAML file. The YAML file must have kind and API version for the services. In the sample file, we are using v1 as the version and kind is service. Next, we give a name to the service, and we do that using metadata, name. In the current case, name of our service is hostname-service. Following this, we need to provide the specification. The first specification that we have provided is type, which is node port. This means the current service that gets created will be of type node port. In other words, it makes the service available to the network so that requests from external clients can be served. Next, we have app:/echo-hostname, which is a selector that can be used in other configuration objects. And finally, we have ports. In node port we specify the port number through which we can access external services. Port is the port number that is exposed internally in the cluster, and the target port is the port to which all the containers are listening. Now, let's explore the different ways to discover services. The recommended method to discover services is through DNS, where a DNS server is added to the cluster to watch Kubernetes API. Next is env-var, where kubelet will add an environmental variable for each active service and make it discoverable. To conclude this video, we will explore the approaches to expose services. We can expose services through proxy-mode, user space. In this mode, kube-proxy keeps an eye on the Kubernetes master. It will watch for services endpoint objects that get added or removed. Now for each service, the mode opens a random port on your local node, and any connection to this proxy port is proxy to the service's backend port and reported in the endpoint. Next is through proxy-mode, IP tables, where kube-proxy continues to watch Kubernetes master and its endpoints using configured IP tables. Finally, we have proxy-mode, IPVS, where kube-proxy watches the service and the endpoint, and it will call netlink interface to create appropriate IPVS rules. Once rules are created, they can be used to access the services.